Eleanor Roosevelt said, "Learn from the mistakes of others. You can't live long enough to make them all yourself." When it comes to financial mistakes, we've definitely made some. And today, I want to share with you about the house that almost left us in financial ruins. If you can learn from my mistakes, then it will be well worth sharing this story. It was the fall of 2001. We had been married for 6 months and had the desire to live the dream and own our own home. We were renting a 2-bedroom apartment on the 4th floor of a walk-up apartment, and I had just found out that I was expecting our first child in the summer of 2002. Lots of stairs, growing family, secure job, and it was our time in our minds to build a home. We had a realtor show us around, but nothing was jumping out at us. We had a price range, and everything in that range was either really old, damaged, or in the neighborhood we did not want to live in. The realtor eventually suggested building a new home, an idea we had not explored before. We met with the building contractor, and after a few visits to show homes, made the choice to go the new home route. At the time, we felt good and we were excited, but I wish that we were more prepared financially for what we had just committed to. We both came from families who taught us that it was important to own your own home. We were also taught that renting is throwing away money. Well, our experience has forced us to learn both are right and both are wrong. Here are the real life numbers from 2001. We were renting. It was close to my husband's work, close enough that he could actually walk there every day in under 10 minutes. It was nothing fancy. The rent was $650 a month. This included heat, water, cable, garbage, insurance, and property maintenance. We needed to pay for our own power, phone, and the coin laundry. Our total monthly home-related bills were another $100 on top of rent. So going back to what we were taught growing up, we threw away $750 each and every month. With full-time work and aggressively saving for a home, we managed to have $7,000 to put towards a down payment. The builder took $5,000 up front and we were off. The purchase price of the home was $127,000. But things started to get a little more pricey as time went on, and we did learn a number of things along the way. First, as we were only putting 5% down, the mortgage needed to be insured by the Canadian Mortgage and Housing Corporation. 4% of the purchase price would be added to the payments to cover the CMHC fees. Another $4,800 was added. Second, anytime we wanted to make an adjustment to the original plan, there was a cost that we needed to pay the builder. So minor changes to the cupboard configuration or adding a power outlet or light switch all increased the cost. When we finally took possession of our home, we had an additional $3,000 on our credit card for all the minor changes that we had made. Third, there was a closing cost associated with buying and selling of real estate. This was an extra $1,000, which was rolled into our mortgage as well. When moving day arrived, we had a mortgage $125,800 at 6.9% with our monthly payments of $908. Our realtor had done some math for us, and she told us we'd only be paying $200 more per month to own than we currently paid for rent. But not all the expenses were factored in. That first year, of the $908 of our monthly mortgage payment, $723 was interest and $185 was paying down our debt to the bank. Town, garbage, sewer, water fees were $120 a month. Bank life insurance for the mortgage debt was $75 a month. Home insurance was $120 a month. Municipal taxes were $220 a month. All of these costs together became $1,443 per month for our home. Of the money that was costing us, only $185 was not being thrown away. The other $1,258 was in fees, interest, and taxes. A new home also needs a few things. We didn't have any window coverings. We needed a washer and dryer. The yard was unsodded dirt. And as the property was on the corner of 2 alleys, traffic routinely drove over the yard. So we needed something to mark the property line. Conservatively, this was going to be another $5,000 on our credit card. Moving into the new house was exciting, and being able to design, choose carpet, wall colors, cabinetry, lighting, and many other items provided great fulfillment. Watching the progress of the build, from the land being surveyed to the hole being dug, foundation and walls erected, then eventually closed in for the interior work. Each step brought satisfaction. When we did the last tour before we were handed the keys, we hugged and smiled because we were now on our way to the dream of home ownership. The financial reality was our housing expenses had increased from $750 a month to $1,443 a month, and we now had $8,000 in debt on our credit card, and we had lots of yard work in front of us. We also had committed to the bank for 25 years of payments. Before, we had been able to steadily put away money each month, but now we were forced to make many tough financial choices in order to have enough funds to cover our home commitments. We were not financially ready to take on that home ownership step. We should have been prepared with having a bigger down payment, which would then have reduced the mortgage amount and the need for the CMHC insurance. We should have waited until we had a larger family income so that the expenses didn't stress the monthly budget as bad as they did at that time. We should have met with an insurance specialist who offered term life insurance instead of using the bank's expensive mortgage insurance. We also should have saved for the costs for the washer, dryer, window coverings, sod, and landscaping. Each one of these costs didn't seem big on their own, but together the house became an unaffordable luxury that almost caused us to go into financial ruin. All I can ask is that you learned from our mistakes of buying when we were not financially ready. We have gone on and learned from those financial mistakes. We built 2 other homes and have moved numerous times, always making sure that we have the funds needed for the next step in real estate ownership. If you enjoyed this video and learned a lesson from what I had to share with you, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Click on that little bell so you get notified. And if you enjoyed this video, learn more about how to create your own emergency fund by clicking on the video that I'm going to post at the end of this. Thanks for watching this, and hopefully you've learned a lesson that you don't have to experience yourself.